We found out that a big strategy that everyone uses is paid shout-outs. So essentially what this is you find a really big page, 1 million followers, and you say, hey, can you promote me? I'll give you some money. And then you gain a bunch of followers. That's got nothing to do with having good content. But the caveat, guys, it works. If you're someone that preaches organic and you're using this, I think it's highly deceptive.
The reason we were so frustrated is because we actually found out that 3 people that we had been taking advice from were not only using paid shoutouts and not teaching it, they were pretending like they hadn't used it, and they were also using engagement pods. Just be honest. We're okay to tell you guys, hey, we're trying some paid shoutout stuff. We'll let you know if it works. If you're just honest and transparent, you're just gonna get so many more customers.
Welcome to episode 91 of the Success School podcast. We're closing in on the 100th episode. Steph, how are you?
I am pumped to be in the studio with you today, as always.
Oh my God. I'm buzzing
so
on
nice.
that.
Yeah.
So I'll get into my personal update. It's I've been using a tool called Segmetrics. I didn't know that was coming. I swear that was my planned joke. Segmetrics, had a call with them, and essentially this is a data tracking tool for ads, email, landing pages, all the really nerdy shit. And I kind of said to myself, if we're going to go to that next level on our goals, I need to be really across the data in terms of where is my funnel falling down? What step? What's the CPA? What's everything? Getting it all on a dashboard. I had an onboarding call with the company and they told me to put all these different tracking codes in all these funnels, and I felt like a real whiz. I was like, I've stepped up as a marketer. Yeah. So I've been deep in Segmetrics and going really hard in that, and it's been eye-opening for me, but it's cool to come out of the data world and speak to you today.
Well, you're a bit of a fly by the seat of your pants kind of guy.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you're a bit of a nerd when it comes to Facebook ads data.
Yep.
But outside of just Facebook ads data, you don't it's not like you live and breathe data. You're not the most analytical guy. You're very much what do I need to know so I can just get to the next stage. So this is a new layer of depth for your personality to have to really dive into. It's not it's not like Tim sits here and is oh my God, the data is so fun. This is a requirement for the level we're trying to get to.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
Very cool.
And what's your personal update, Steph?
We've been advertising for a role in our company, and the role was for appointment setter. And we had a couple of applications come through. Very, very interesting process, by the way. But we had one application come through, and we knew someone that had also worked at the previous role with them. And so we contacted them, and there was a few little red flags in the application process. But I thought, look, I'm not going to let other people's opinions of this person sway me, so I'm going to get on a call. We'll tee it up. So we teed it up Monday, 10 a.m. You and I both got ready.
Public holiday,
but calendar invites accepted by both parties, all things, no problems. You and I both got ready, got down there, had all our interview questions ready to go, totally dialed in and ready to lock in. And 10 o'clock goes past, 10:01. By 10:02, I'm thinking, very big red flag. By 10:04, I'm like, this person hasn't got the job. But just this person's...
I think I walked out at 10:02.
Yeah, 10:04 is this person's not getting the job. 10:05, I just shut the Zoom call down. At 3 p.m. that afternoon, he messaged me apologizing. 3 p.m.
5 hours later.
Guys.
Dude, that fucking sucked.
Yeah, the worst.
That's
okay, so shit. The thing I wanted to kind of push on here was that we have standards in our company, and everyone's companies are going to be different. Being on time is such a non-negotiable standard for us. We live by this in our lives. We hate being 1 minute late to anything. And I used to be a late person. Tim really trained it out of me. And we didn't have a lot of other good applications. The reason we were even on the interview in the first place was that we didn't have a whole host of applications for this specific role. We have now found somebody, which is super exciting. But the most important thing here, guys, is that you always hold your standards. Even when you really need this person to come off, even when you think, but they could be right. Absolutely no. Regardless of if he'd gone on at 10:06, we still wouldn't have hired him, because that's your first impression. What's that going to be like for a customer, for somebody who's coming into our world? What standards does that set for other people who are in our company? So please always hold your standards and make sure that if someone has even honestly more than one red flag, it's probably not a fit for your company.
I've said this a few times on the podcast, but I'd rather work 10 times as hard than have someone that's not a good fit in the company. And that was a mad red flag for me.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so we're going to get into our topic today. It's a bit of a teach. We're talking about the latest lead gen strategies that are working in business right now. So we're going to give you a paid one. We're going to give you an organic one. You can go do both. So we were discussing this on the car on the way here. Steph had a counter argument to me. we had a bit of a debate, and we'll debate on the pod right now.
Yeah.
In my opinion, lead generation, specifically organically, has gotten worse. And Steph says it hasn't. So let's go the pro lead gen angle here. And then
we'll actually having a little debate.
Let's debate it out.
Oh, fun. Okay. I like to win, guys. So let's freaking go.
So do I. Have you met me?
I have met you.
Yeah.
I have versed you in many competitions.
And lost.
And lost in most. You were saying that you think that organic no longer yields leads.
No, I didn't say absolutely no longer yields leads. I said has gotten worse.
Okay. So you're saying that organic has gotten worse. And I tend to agree that tactics that used to work on organic no longer work. I totally agree. However, then I raised a counter argument with you, which was on Friday on our Inner Circle call, one of our clients, Becca, who has a low-cost digital product, Becca told me that 50% of her purchases from her audience are coming from her organic traffic versus her paid traffic. And she was like, she has been strangling her ads. You know, Becca, she's like, loves it, lives it, loves the data, lives for the data. And I was like, cool. So maybe this week, I told her, maybe this week what I would love to see her do is just to take a step back from ads for a sec, not to change anything, don't dial down anything, but just stop checking them so much and use some of that time to just make some more organic content and see how it goes for you and see if we can increase over the next 2 weeks to see if it works. I don't think it's dead, but I think two things. Organic, you have to know how to make shit go viral.
Yeah.
You have to. You have to know what's working. You have to be on trend. Becca knows how to do trending reels. She knows how to make it work. She has a low ticket product. She's a student of this. So it works for her. If you're not currently yielding much from your organic and you don't know how to create content that's consistently going viral or knows how to go viral, it's going to be hard for sure.
My only caveat to that is on our last episode, we did speak about offers and niche. Becca has a niche. That's why it works.
It's so specific.
If you are just general on social media, then it's obviously not going to yield results.
Yeah.
So we're going to be going through 2 tactics and strategies today. And they may shock you, they may annoy you, they may frustrate you. And that's how I felt when I learned about the first one today. So a lot of people in the business coaching space, marketing coaching space, they give it biggins. And what I mean by giving it biggins is they give it big time about the results they have. And the most frustrating thing about the results they have is you just assume, and they do market, that the results they have come from posting organically, where that is not the case. And we found out that a big strategy that everyone uses is paid shout-outs. So essentially what this is you find a really big page, 1 million followers, can be 200,000, 500, whatever it is, and you say, hey, can you promote me? I'll give you some money. And then they go and do that, and then you gain a bunch of followers from that, and then you just keep doing that as a part of your strategy. That's got nothing to do with having good content or having nothing to do with what all these crazy organic coaches are telling you that they are doing. It's a completely different thing. But the caveat, guys, it works. And it works really well.
Yeah, you tried it recently.
I tried it recently. I was like, I got to see what the fuss is about. So what I did is I searched hashtag motivation. Found a bunch of pages. There was a couple of business motivation ones. Messaged them and I was like, hey, how much for a shout out? What are some typical results you had? The guy replies, says $40. It'll get seen by 200,000 people. I gained 65 followers from it, which is not amazing, but not terrible. Just to give you guys some context on that's like 70 cents per follower ish. And then typically on meta ads for a B2B offer like I have, it'd probably be $2 to $3 a follower. So it's like 6 times cheaper. So paid shout outs work, but if you're someone that like preaches organic and you're using this, I think it's highly deceptive.
So look, I want to dive in here because I think this is really cool. It's cool that it works. It's cool that I think there's a bit to discuss. Do you mind if we pull it apart?
Let's go. Pull it apart.
Right. 2 things. One, the reason we were so frustrated is because we actually found out that 3 people that we had been taking advice, had been given advice from, were not only using paid shout-outs and not teaching it, they were just using it and not teaching it and pretending like they hadn't used it. And they were also using engagement pods and were not teaching that. But people who work in their companies had told us it was 100% the case. Just be honest.
Yeah.
Like, we're okay to tell you guys, hey, we're trying some paid shout-out stuff. Like, we'll let you know if it works. If you're just honest and transparent, you're just going to get so many more customers. So that was the most annoying thing. But let's talk about paid shoutouts because yes, 65 followers. I hear people listening saying, yes, but are they the right followers?
Yeah.
You know, like there's that content, that concept that have we got the right ones? We don't know. It's probably too early to tell right now.
Well, I checked out the pages were good. They weren't like people from Pakistan or Bangladesh. No offense if you're from there. But they seem legit. Everyone was from Western countries. It was all good. We messaged them. I'm starting having conversations with them. They all seem great. Our setter's happy.
And I think it comes down to finding the right pages.
Yeah.
And checking and doing your research. Like, you just can't reach out to any page. Like, we've noticed some pages that definitely, if you just check the comments and the people who are currently engaging on the stuff, you will see. It's very, very easy to see.
For sure. Steph, do you want to tell us about the next strategy? So it's a VSL. Do you want to tell us what a VSL is, what it does, how it could be beneficial for someone to implement? And then we've got an organic strategy and a paid strategy. You can go through the organic and I'll go through the paid.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the structure, and I love it. So a VSL is basically a landing page that's on video, but it's you talking through it, and it's not really a landing page, but it's basically a video sales letter. So it's you selling your thing, and there's a whole structure to it. This is not just like you being like, hey, this is my product and this is
buy my shit,
buy my stuff, and this is what's included. That's not it. There is an entire psychological structure to this to build know, like, and trust throughout it. But effectively at the end of a 10-minute or 15-minute VSL, you should be able to get a ton of calls booked off the back end, okay? That is the concept behind the VSL. Tim, what's working with VSLs and ads right now?
So what's working with VSL and ads right now is essentially just running them, but they are super expensive to get a call booked. So it can be $200 to $500 to get a call booked. But if you're selling something for 10 grand, you're spending $200 to $500, you close every third, that's still a good deal. But I think it's getting your VSL good enough for people to be interested. It's like on the last episode, if you guys haven't listened to it, we were talking about offer. You have to nail the offer. There has to be a promise. There has to be an outcome. There has to be a unique mechanism. You have to be talking them through what you're doing. And if you don't have that, it's going to fall flat on its face. But that's just business in general. If you don't have that stuff and you go to market stuff in ads, it's not going to go as well. And I guess, do you want to tell us an organic strategy on how to do it, like link in bio, driving traffic there, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, totally. Just on this, guys, it's really important, when you're spending $200 to $500 to acquire a lead, that you have a funnel to sell that lead. You cannot be spending, I was speaking to one of our clients this week and she was saying that she spends $2,500 a month on, SEO. And she got 3 qualified leads last week. And I was like, you kind of can't do that, you kind of, because only probably one of those is going to sell. You kind of can't afford to keep doing that, right? So you do need to make sure, guys, and so we're just working on dialing in her funnel before we even think about driving more stuff through it, because she needs to dial up the conversions, right? So it's really important that if you're going to be spending this money to drive, whether it's paid shout outs, guys, there's no point getting paid shout outs and then not talking to the audience. There has to be funnels in place on the back end or systems in place on the back end to make sure that when you actually spending this money or you're getting these people to your thing, you actually turn that into more money. Otherwise, you're just spending money for the sake of it, all right? The way that VSLs work in Insta is guys, I don't know if you looked at your insights recently, but there are so many people who are clicking the link in your bio. And right now, a lot of you have 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10 freaking links in there.
Yeah.
They're going nowhere. They're just clicking the link and they're looking at all the links and they're going, I don't know where to go. So they go fucking nowhere, right? And so they don't look at any of your stuff. But if you put a VSL in your funnel, pretty much every single person, because it's only the one thing that they can do, is going to go there and they're going to look at it and they're going to watch it and then they're going to be very rapidly falling in love with you, and likelihood is much more likely to book a call with you. And so that's the way that the organic works, that you just drive everything to link in bio, or even your ManyChat sequences would be driving to this one thing, this one place. If you did that for a month and you just optimized that, and then you optimize where they're falling off in your VSL funnel. So let's say they're watching a VSL, they get 3 minutes in and then everyone's just kind of dropping off around 3 minutes, probably something to fix in that moment. So I think that's how it works. And I think it works really well. We're about to test it.
We're about to test it. We'll let you guys know. So I guess takeaway from this section, guys, is if you want some different results, you're going to have to do something a little bit different. Maybe you need to test some paid shout outs. Maybe you need some strategies for that. Send me a message. Or you need to test a VSL and take out the 42 links in your bio because no one's clicking them anyway. Maybe you need to drive them. So what we're going to do, guys, we're talking through a news discussion that is going on at the moment. So I'm going to present an article and Steph and I are going to talk through it. I know Steph got a little hot under the collar when we brought up this topic last time. It was a bit of end of the world and she's sighing very heavily at the moment. So NVIDIA CEO says AI chips are improving faster than Moore's law. Steph, what is Moore's law?
Moore's law is the concept that technology processing power is going to double every 18 months.
Epic. And we were at dinner the other night and we were discussing AI and there were many chats about AI. Do you still think it's going to take over, ruin the world? And we did have some different concepts on this. We did agree that there was going to be short-term pain, but at the end of it, there is going to be a utopia, in my opinion. Do you still think this, or has your opinion changed?
I don't think anything. I discuss all options. That's where I live in AI at the moment. Look, I think the fact that it's actually improving 3 times faster than Moore's Law. That means that it's improving very, very fast, guys. Like, I don't know what the math is, but if it's 18 months and it's 3 times, it's soon, okay? And so it's fast, and it's only going to get faster because they're fighting for this race to, like, the first AI. I don't know what it means, except for that I think that soon humans are going to be AI's best friend.
Yep.
Like, we're going to kind of, like, be the dogs. Yep. Like, you know, dogs are great, dogs. And so I'm going to be happy to just be pet all day by my big, giant robot that's going to love me.
Have you noticed that ChatGPT's gone better?
So much better.
Like in the last couple of days, I've noticed it's gotten better. It's gotten quicker.
So fast. It is absolutely. And I'm asking it more complex things, and it's just picking it up and like pulling it together so quickly. It's phenomenal. And I do think that it is going to change. Obviously, it's going to change a lot about the way that we do things. I don't know how it's going to change. I know that you think the world's going to go to shit and then we're all just going to go back to being beings. You know, we're all just going to stop working so bloody hard and having all this like, you know, oh my God, I've got to do this. I'm going to scrail. I'm going to have all this money and blah, blah, blah. And we're just going to end up being like back to, you know, being in community and sitting around fires and like being human, you know. And I think that appeals to you, and that's it's really beautiful.
Guys, big takeaway from this section is Terminator's coming, so prepare. Get your Faraday cages and guns ready, because we're going to be fighting like fucking Sarah Connor with this shit. We're out there. Where is John?
Guys, Tim is wearing his tinfoil hat, if you haven't started watching.
All right, guys, we're going to get to the listener question today, and we're going to set the scene a little bit. And this is from Jess W. Why are my ads not working? And just to give you guys some context on this was a general lead magnet on 50 things that VAs can do. Mm-hmm. And just from the outset, Steph, why would that not work on paid ads?
Look, that would have worked a little while ago. Yeah. That would have worked. It would have been fine because there weren't that many VA agencies on the market that were in Australia that were trying to do this market. But now it doesn't work because there are, if you go to Google and you type in VA agencies Australia, there's shed loads, like more and more popping up every day. And so, you know, that no longer is going to kind of cut the mustard. There's a few of those out there now. And so cut the mustard, by the way. Who have I become?
Craziest episode ever.
So no, it's not specific enough. So what did you do?
Yeah, so I had the pleasure of looking into this ads account and took the cost per lead from $105 to $7.
Tim was very proud of himself.
I was very happy with myself.
And you should know, guys, that when Tim does something that he's very proud of,
I tell everyone.
He lets everyone know.
Yeah, I let everyone know. Fuck, I'm good. So I used what we spoke about in the last episode in terms of the offer. Yeah. I made it specific, I made it time-bound, and I put a result on it. So 50 things a VA can do for real estate agents. And I wrote something else on there as well. Yeah. So I made it super specific, changed the headline, changed the lead magnet, changed the copy.
Obviously changed the targeting.
Yeah, changed the targeting, changed the copy. And then in terms of the copy, it was more like, imagine what you could do if you had 10 to 15 hours back.
In your real estate agent
business. And then all the copy was centered around that. So a couple of tweaks there. We didn't reinvent the wheel. We didn't rewrite the lead magnet. We just put some more specific stuff on there. So what I want you guys to learn from this, guys, if you're running paid ads, it has to be specific, okay? If you're just running general shit on ads, it's not going to work. It has to be super specific. All right, guys, if you had some value from this episode, please subscribe, whether that's YouTube, Spotify, or Apple, and send us a message with your key takeaway.
I had a lot of fun today.
Good.
I'll see you next week.